I look like a Tim Burton character. Hi guys, my name is Indigo. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Today we're going to be talking about little hacks that you guys can try out in your daily routine so you guys can just get that little more elevated type look. As of making this video, I am 19 and I have not had any surgeries, and this is what I used to look like. I have done quite the amount of work on my brows, on my skin, also my daily makeup routine, which I'm not wearing anything right now, but we'll get into in a second. Every single day I am growing, both as a makeup artist and as a person in general. And these are some of the tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years that have really just helped me elevate that experience. So before we get started, make sure to go watch my previous video where I turn into Valentina from RuPaul's Drag Race. And without further ado, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and let's get started.
Hey, ewa salame, babak no papir, ewa salame, zinzal bim, ewa salame, hey.
Okay, so let's start off with things that you do before makeup. So first of all, I don't think I've perfected my skincare routine, but I've really started putting the focus more into sunscreen and hydration instead of like acne fighting and drying stuff. I no longer go out in the sun. If I go out in the sun, I'm wearing full-on SPF 50. After every single shower, I moisturize, very important. They're still building my mansion in the back. Sorry, guys. Let's talk about the big thing, which is brows. Now, I had a TikTok that kind of like blew up a couple of months ago where I was talking about if I look straight forward, this eye is gonna get eaten up and you guys can't really see like my eyelid like that. The way that I counteracted that and I made the illusion of having a whole bunch of lid space is by getting rid of my brows like to the max. Obviously, I know I am blessed with very thick brows that I can actually shape like that. Brow placement has so much to do with your face. And I'm still learning that, and these still aren't the brows that I fully want for my face. This is what my brows used to look like way back when I first was just growing them out. Obviously, they were all the way down here. They were super hooded, and they made my like face just look like so drooped down and like so angry all the time.
Now it looks like I'm angry, but with a facelift. Does that make sense?
Now I look angry, but now I look angry chic. You know, there's a big difference between that. What I do is I make sure that I pluck everything underneath and make it super clean. And I try to get rid of like the arch that I have as much as possible to kind of have like that straight brow, like that Kendall Jenner brow. And that's really gonna shape and angle your face into a much more like face lifted look, which isn't something that everybody wants. But if you do want it, like I do, that is kind of like what you should try to aim for. Obviously make sure that it fits your face frame and whatnot, but the main thing you should be doing is kind of learning what brow really frames your face, and I promise you, it's gonna really just elevate your look to the next level, and that's really been helping me a lot recently. The next step is if you have facial hair, you can pick between two different things, and that is either going completely clean shaved or growing out your facial hair and really styling it and keeping it super good looking. Good facial hair is really going to change the frame of your face, or just being completely clean shaven is also going to really that clean look. When I don't get a clean shave, people comment in the comment section always saying I look tired, like I look sick, am I okay? Which kind of sucks, but like, you know, it's just the way it is. And honestly, I do look really tired when I do that. And on the topic of hairstyles. I have had many different hairstyles in my life, but one thing that I will say is shorter hairstyles in your face will always make you look younger. When I have my bangs on in my other videos, I look even younger than this. So you really want to study your face shape and also figure out which hairstyle actually suits your face. So now that we have that out of the way, let's talk about little tips and tricks that you guys can do with makeup. I am not really going to go into full glam. To get that really elevated facelift look that is just super believable and super chic and like super like ethereal, you don't really want to go for full glam, if that makes sense. You really want to have something almost in the middle. It just looks a million times better in my opinion, and I think a lot of people can agree as well. So let's talk about very simple tips and tricks that you guys can do. As you guys can see, I have some dark circles. Keep in mind, these are fully from makeup right now, so I can't even complain about dark circles in this time in my life. But you know what, let's do something about it. Now, I like to get like a little purple color corrector when I'm just chilling on my regular days, and I just like to apply it very minimally. It's just to kind of frame that upwards. I have a little bit of white in my waterline because I just finished the makeup tutorial, so it's kind of throwing it off, but we're just gonna keep on going. It doesn't really matter. I'm gonna grab a little bit of my favorite foundation and I'm actually going to use it as concealer. I use like the tiniest little bit. It's so minuscule. It's like you guys can't even see that. Just press that onto my under eye. No sponge. And then grabbing my little sponge, I'm gonna go ahead and like areas where I do have a little bit of acne or hyperpigmentation or just places I simply don't want redness. I'm just gonna go ahead and lightly tap a little bit of foundation on. And this is what we're looking like now. I don't really think I have to set this makeup, but just to be really safe, I really like to go with my powder brush and I just like to make sure I've got it going. And then for my brows, I really just enjoy using a clear brow gel just like regular. I always want to make sure that my brows are always brushed upwards, because when you brush them up, you're always gonna look more awake. You see the difference between this brow, which isn't brushed, and this brow? Like, it just looks so much more neater and cleaner. This didn't take me any time. This is really easy and simple to do in the morning. I can do this in 30 seconds. This is so much better with literally no hassle at all. When I do this type of beat, I still like to contour my face, but not in the way that you would expect. I actually use eyeshadow for this. Now I use the ColourPop Stone Cold Fox palette, and I'm going to use usually like these like purple shades over here and a little bit of this gray and a little bit of this brown. Let's put bronzer and contour aside. When I think of actual shadow on the human face with like skin and blood and like veins and stuff, I usually think of purple when it comes to my skin tone and a little bit of this gray in certain areas. So that's what I do, because once you get into that really warm stage, you start to look like actual bronzer, which is kind of, it's all right, but it's not really what we're going for if we want to look believable. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the shade Stranger, and I'm just gonna pack this onto my eyelid. Now think of this as your eyeshadow, because that's exactly what it is. Something I always fail to do whenever I do like a everyday makeup routine. And I always wondered why I always looked so incomplete compared to everybody else's natural daily makeup. And it was because when you kind of leave your eyelid just kind of open like that, you're gonna look a little bit more tired than usual. Whereas if you just apply just the tiniest little bit of eyeshadow, even if it's literally just the color of your eyelid, it's gonna look so much better. Then I'm gonna go ahead with the shade Gravity Hill, and I'm gonna start fixing my little nose bridge, I guess, and kind of make it look a little bit more snatched. So I'm going to trail that into my brow, and I'm gonna alternate between Gravity Hill and Bold Type. Make sure I get that very nice even in between color, and I'm gonna start pushing that out, because if you guys can see on this other eye, I have hyperpigmentation right here. I am going to go in and kind of emulate that with eyeshadow so I get like a more deep sunken eye look. I have a very low and prominent brow bone, so with my eyeshadow, I really like to go in and darken that out as much as possible. You know, see, to give that illusion that my brow bone is really not that prominent. And with any of the excess that I have on my brush, I'll just use that on the outer corner and flick it upwards. And as crazy as this sounds, we're gonna reintroduce my dark circles, but in a different way. But we're gonna lightly make a gradient from darkest down here to lightest around here. This is probably where I do get more into the territory of like, okay, yeah, maybe he's wearing makeup, but we all know I don't have a problem with that. Now I'm gonna go ahead and use the same exact powder that's still on the brush, not dipping back into anything at all. And I'm gonna create a little nose contour of sorts. I'm gonna go underneath my nose. You see how it's already making like a little new shape? And gently and carefully, also bringing it up to the bridge. And I'm gonna connect the inner part of my eye to the nose bridge. That part is really important. As for my lips, I really like to go in with a lip pencil that is the exact same color as my lips. And this sounds weird, but trust me when I say it works. I just outline my lips like I would regularly. Try not to make it too lip liney. Like, do you see the line where your lip stops being like a lip and it's just, it goes from pink to like whatever your skin color is? You just really want to create that transition with the lip liner. I'll show you what I mean. Go on the edges. I guess in a sense I'm overlining. You see they're already starting to look bigger. After that, I just pat it down so that way it looks more believable that that is the actual line that my lips are like coming in at, you know? And a gloss never hurt nobody, and crusty lips are not my style. And the last thing that I like to do is kind of contour just a teeny bit. I got this hack from the Korean makeup tutorial thing that I did. I actually took so much from that. I'm gonna go ahead and use this contour powder, and I'm just gonna grab a little bit, not too much. I'm just gonna kind of bring it down here just a little bit, and maybe just a little bit inwards. I don't know, it just really depends on my day. And the last and only thing that can be considered very drastic and not everybody should do, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm actually going to carve out my cheekbones. I'm gonna follow what God gave me, and I'm gonna let this sit on my skin for about 5 minutes. It really does so much. My cheekbones really just do that extra like. And this is what it looks like. As you can see, it's very like subtle, but it's like, it's there. So that is pretty much my little glow up tips and tricks that I've learned throughout the years, and this is like my little pick me up in the morning. Usually it's a lot less intense in this area. However, I had just done a makeup look, so I did need to pack a little extra punch into it. Let me show you guys my brows. This is what my brows look like. Yum, yum, yum. And I mean, like, I don't really know, but I feel like this looks a lot different from this. So yeah, that is my little update on my tips and tricks on how to just be like a little bit more elevated looking. Mind you guys, once again, I am only 19 and I'm still growing, so I still have plenty of time to learn a million other tips and tricks. So if you guys also have a little bit of tips and tricks that you guys would like to share down below to have like a little glow up, do leave them down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like my art, if you guys like my energy, please like, comment, and subscribe, and turn on post notifications, and I will see you guys in the future. Bye-bye.